Oh, okay. I didn't know if you want to give him a second. You good, Damian?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess just to start, I know you've been managing this. You told us in Game 3, if you can't move, you can't move, but there's not much you can do. So just what was the last few days like to get you at this point where you could give it a go today?
I mean, it's just around-the-clock treatment pretty much. I did it last game of the season against Orlando. I kind of strained it a little bit, and then that whole week leading up to Game 1, I didn't practice pretty much the whole week. I was out literally until Saturday. So I think Saturday was the first day that I did stuff like with the team on the floor, just moving up and down. So I was nervous about it until Saturday, and I finally felt good. And we kind of got it under control for Game 1, Game 2, and most of Game 3, and then into regulation in Game 3, I think it was. Tried to steal a ball and just did it all over again pretty much. So it was back to square one with that.
So I guess how did it go today? And for you to feel good, like you weren't going to put yourself in danger of something more serious.
I mean, I did the same thing, like I said, just a bunch of treatment. I went from the boot to crutches for a little bit to keep so much weight off of it, keep some stress off of it. And treatment, just pretty much around the clock. And I came in this morning at like 9:30. We came to the arena, and I tried to get on the court yesterday and didn't feel good. But I don't think I would have slept well, and I don't think I would have went into the summer feeling good about much if I felt like I let the team go out there and me not at least try. So we came in this morning. I did a workout, like 45 minutes on the court this morning just to move around and just to see like what happens if I jump off my right foot and shoot step backs and pull up jumpers and stuff. And it was a little tender, but I felt like I could manage it, Went back to the hotel, did some more treatment, and I pretty much was in there all the way up until it was time to get on the bus. And it was like, all right, let's see how I feel when I do my pregame. And I did my pregame shooting, and I think just being in the building, seeing all the T-shirts on the chairs, I started moving around a little bit, and I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna play. Let's just do it. This is it. There's no guarantees that we gonna make it back home, and I want to be out there, so that was it.
Obviously, this is the end of your first season in Milwaukee. I guess, how do you feel like this season ended up going for you? Obviously, I know it doesn't end the way that you want it to, but just can you take us through kind of what this season has been like for you?
I think it was a roller coaster of a year. But I think for me personally, it was a year of growth more than anything. My first time being a part of a different organization than the Trailblazers, after 11 years, picking up my life and, being away from my family and away from my kids, being traded so late into the summer, playing for multiple coaches, trying to find myself within, a new dynamic, a new team, a new organization, playing with another superstar player, another great player in K-Mid. So just trying to find my space within that with everything else happening all at the same time. I think it was a lot for me to fight through, but I take a lot of pride in standing tall, when things don't go as planned or go how I would like them to go. And I always want to look back and be able to tell myself that as a man, like, when I didn't play well, when things didn't go how I might have expected it to go, when I was going through some things, whether people knew about it or not, I stood tall in it. I never made an excuse or nothing like that. And it was a long year of that for me. Just a lot of growth, a lot of getting used to new things, and that was pretty much it.
Obviously, we went through a year of it. You know how this ends. You guys lose in the first round. All of a sudden, Dame is unhappy or whatever it may be. I'm curious, how excited are you for a second year in Milwaukee and then also like a real true offseason that you didn't get last year?
I'm extremely excited. I think when things don't go as planned, like I said before, I don't say a lot. So sometimes when people, make a read, oh, Dame, look, he doesn't look happy. I don't think I've ever run around on the court smiling. My disposition has always been that way. But I think, people they're going to look at everything and try to make something of everything. It's been some hard times. I haven't denied that one time this year. Basketball and personally, it's been some hard times, but it's never been a issue with Milwaukee. I get the opportunity to play with Giannis. I'm playing with veteran players. I know that the only thing we plan for is the opportunity to win the championship, and that's why I made the decision to be a part of something like this. But I understand that the chatter and the gossip and all of those things come with the territory. I know that criticism comes with being on a team with high expectations. And for me, now that the season has come to an end, I'm looking at it and I'm excited that, me having the season that I had, I was almost 25 points a game, 7 assists. We almost won 50 games given everything else. And people just, had a whole lot to say. And when I look at my performance, I know that I could have done a lot of things better. And I know that I'm going to have a full season of knowing who the coach I'm going to be playing for, having a better idea of the guys that I'm going to be playing with, being in Milwaukee. I kind of settled into things here. So having a regular offseason and being able to actually, train and be able to do live stuff. Last year I couldn't do certain things because I couldn't get hurt because I knew I was going to get traded. So I think going into next season, they'll be really surprised at, how much of an impact all of these things actually did have when they see me come back.
I know you guys can't control injuries, but just how disappointing was it to not be able to play with Giannis on the floor in the playoffs after obviously that being the thing?
It's very disappointing, but it's part of the game. It happens. I think that's one thing that you can do as much training. You can do all the things that you want to do. You can't control when a random play might happen. It can happen at any time. And when you get to the playoffs, the more healthy team is going to win. It's hard to reach the playoffs and be fully healthy for every team, but when you do, it's a blessing to be able to do that. Now you got a better opportunity, and we just weren't able to do that this season. We kind of limped into the playoffs and then had guys getting banged up during the series. But that's fair. That's part of the game. There's no excuse for us. We didn't make it healthy. Other teams made it more healthy, and we got beat. But it's definitely disappointing because how much better of a team we are when he's on the floor and how much things change when he's on the floor and you play an entire 82-game season. You go through training camp. You go through all the ups and downs of a NBA regular season, and you get to the point where, all right, now we're going to play for everything, and you're not whole. You don't have the best opportunity to reach where you want to reach. So it's frustrating, it's disappointing, but it's part of the game.
And then you mentioned just a coaching change, but what kind of impact now did Doc have coming in midseason, and what are you just excited about going forward to have him as coach?
I think his experience and his voice. I think he just has a way of reaching a team. He's a leader of men. He's not afraid to say what the truth is. Regardless of who might be offended by it or who the offender of what he's speaking on is. It doesn't matter. And I think to be the best version of ourselves as a team, having stars on your team and veterans and guys with the type of experience we have, you need somebody that's going to be willing to challenge them and deal with whatever comes back. And I think because of who he is, his experience, he's the person for that. And I'm excited to know, who I'm going to be playing for, knowing him as a person, being with him for half a season, now I know what he expects. I know what his style is. I know what he's going to expect of me. So, I think it was a great couple months playing for him, getting to know him a little bit closer. And then going into the off season, knowing that we're gonna be in contact, and going forward, I know that we gonna try to get even more on the same page about what we want to accomplish.
Maybe along those lines, are you someone who, if you're walking out and you'll say, like a what could have been? The three of you only played 6 full games with Doc over 3 months.
Really?
Yeah, 8 total. I think Giannis and Chris both left, so just 6. Yeah. So do you kind of look back or is it more of, are you someone who looks ahead and says, okay, that little bit we got together in shoot-arounds or in those couple practices, show me where we can go? Or is it a little bit of both? I don't know.
I mean, I think that's a pretty easy thing. You look at it and say, man, we didn't get much time together. Get more time together is probably a better product. But for me, I just understand that sometimes that's just the way it goes. It might happen again. You don't know that. Injuries are a part of the game. You never know what's going to come up in the NBA season. But to answer your question, I think I'm definitely more of a look forward kind of guy. But I don't ignore what happened prior. I do think it's important for us to be able to be on the floor more together. And we just weren't able to do that this season.
Without you, without Giannis, Chris kind of carries the team through a couple games. Just obviously, this is your first year getting to know Chris as well. Yeah. Just what do you feel like you learned maybe about him that you didn't know before or anything like that?
I always respected his game. Just as a player that wasn't a part of this organization. I've been on a USA team with Chris in 2021. The teams that I've played on, when we talk about players, people respect his game, and I always respected his game. But I think just what I've learned that I didn't know is, he's been dealing with injuries all season long. He's been banged up even toward the end of the season, and Giannis is out, then I go out. It was a perfect opportunity and I think he actually rolled his ankle or hurt his knee again during that time. And there was an opportunity right there in front of him to just be like, man, I'm hurt. I can't go, And not only did he play, he rose, and carried us even in Game 3, when I kind of came up hurt at the end of regulation. He hit 2 big shots to force overtime and then to, keep the game going. But coming out Game 5, the game that he had, us being able to play through him and him being able to make tough shots, make plays, directing traffic. I just think his presence, was huge for our team in this series while we didn't play. And I think it just shows who he is, and, I already had a lot of respect for him, but I gained even more respect for him because I like to look at players and I wonder, who's going to think how I think and who's going to be willing to go out how I would go out. And I think when you see that as a man, you respect it a little bit more, and I saw that from him, in this series.